low interest rates in isolation are not necessarily an issue. You couple that with high inflation, and that starts to become a big issue. As you mentioned, it's the scale of the money that's been printed over the last 12 years is unheard of in U.S. history. We've printed more money in the last 12 years as we had in the entirety of U.S. history prior, all combined together. Now, it sounds like a wonderful idea, right? A government owes money, they print money, they service debt, there's no consequence. Sadly, money doesn't work like that, right? The more money you print, the more you throw into the system, it dilutes the potency of that currency, and it ultimately fuels inflation. There's a guy called Alan Meltzer, who was a Federal Reserve scholar at Carnegie Mellon. I think he summarized this point very well. He said, look, never in history has a country that financed big budget deficits with large amounts of central bank money avoided incredibly high levels of inflation. So it feels an unavoidable consequence.
But this whole infrastructure bill that you mentioned, I mean, folks, grab your wallet. Anything valuable, the kids' piggy bank, put it in the closet, hide it, lock it up, because this plan is going to cost us big time. Even the Washington Post put it this way. It said the two-pronged package that Biden will begin unveiling this week includes higher amounts of federal spending. Higher! We just spent $5.5 trillion on the COVID bill, but, okay, I continue. But also, significantly more in tax revenue. There you go, with possibly as much as $4 trillion in new spending and more than $3 trillion in tax increases. Now, the website Axios broke down how they're going to get all this tax money. The biggest ticket item would raise the corporate rate, the one that just got down because of President Trump, to attract more business, to make us more competitive. Yeah, they're going to raise it from 21 to 28% because that'll get them $730 billion over 10 years. Then they're going to impose a global minimum tax on profits from foreign subsidiaries. That's going to get them another, $500 billion. That, again, which we lowered to make it more competitive with the rest of the world. Then we're going to tax capital gains and regular income for wealthy and tax unrealized capital gains at death. The death tax, we're bringing it back, $370 billion. And then here's the kicker. This is where you should really be concerned. They're going to return the top individual rate for those making more than $400,000. Remember, it's not just the rich. That's a lot of small businesses that pay taxes that way, right? Those small businesses, the LLCs, the sole proprietorships, they're going to increase the rate back to 39.6%. 40% tax rate is coming back, right? That'll get them another $110 billion. Unbelievable.
The day we don't become the prime reserve currency, we are like Argentina. Then you can't just sell $6 trillion of bonds or $2 trillion of bonds, right? You can't do it. Because you have to jack up the interest rate so high, then you're forced to get your house in order, because you become like Argentina and inflation explodes.